So now that since your girl's recording, let's go ahead. Let's get into this next reaction, shall we? Tommy, shout outs to you. Why celebrities are starving themselves. Oh man. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into this video, y'all. Let's do it.
Being a celebrity requires you to change your body to Hollywood norms at any moment it's popular. Whether it be through plastic surgery to look like a wax figure on video 24/7, whether it be to suck up all the fat through your body and put it in your butt, Hollywood is notorious for making people go through egregious things just to fit the role of what people expect. And for the past 10 years or so, that standard was the one and only BBL. The BBL stood king for the longest because something men like more than money is spending that money on a girl with a fat ass. The switch.
Hi, Scooty. How are you?
Hi, Orith, one hearts.
W 37 months. Oh my God, you've been here for a long time. This the BBL culture. We need to actually have a discussion about what that has done to fellow young women and what, like, that has made women think that it is that they need to do with the level of standards, and why, like, even going as far as getting like buttocks injections and hydro shit. Like, all of that starts from the BET Uncut. It really does start out with that within the early 2000s. Before they made this into a surgical procedure like that, like people knew about, because it was getting the surgeries back then in the early 2000s too. But a lot of women were going to the hotels, the trucks, the basements, all that to get like the injections of to get bigger butts. You know what I mean? Ooh, y'all Squinty with the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate you. Thank you. You know, so that has become a problem. But I've always said this before. I've always said this. I was somebody that didn't have no booty. Okay, track and field made me get mine. You can build a butt in the gym. You don't need to do this. You do not need to go ahead. I promise you. Nothing is better than going ahead and getting a natural BBL by going to the gym and getting some creatine and some maca root and eating some protein. I promise you, the dumpy gonna dump every time it is. You know what I'm saying? You do it. Trust me. I am living proof of this. If I can able to build, I can build a butt. You know what I'm saying? Like build a bear. You can too, okay?
Switch from tatas being the Hollywood standard to the BBL was aggressive. We had no wait time for real. It just came through in one swoop and destroyed everything behind it. I don't think there's any more boob guys for real. It's kind of sad. It's like they all got genocided in a decade. And I'm not saying all the girls in Hollywood who have big butts got them through BBLs, but the ones you immediately saw go from the most petite, skinny woman ever to having one you can back up in a parking garage were obvious. And most people attribute this rise to 2 people, Kim Kardashian and Nicki Minaj. Kim K's was crazy because she went from looking like Taylor Swift in the Eras tour one year to Kim Kardashian. She looked good before still, so I don't even know why she decided to do it. But it was probably the best decision she ever made in her life. I remember all the jokes growing up I heard about Kim's BBL. There were so many TV shows that would make fun of it.
Network sustainable in this new streaming world? No! No!
Kim, what's wrong? A black ball went to waste.
And it officially became the Hollywood norm. Same with Nicki Minaj too, who as soon as the Anaconda music video dropped back in 2014, it was solidified. I know so many that had their sexual awakening as soon as this video came out. At that moment, it was basically you either had to get a BBL or work out to get a fat ass, or you were gonna fall off as a female celebrity. It started off.
It was a little harder for female rappers, female entertainers, because of the fact that it's based off of looks. And when you have the certain looks and aesthetics, that kind of does push you into, like, I hate to say it, but like, sex sells. And who knows that better than anybody else? Men, at the end of the day. Like, that's what gets women, young girls that looks at that and be like, okay, I feel like in order for me to get the recognition, to get the people to like me, to get people, this and this, I need to go ahead and have a bigger butt. I need to have this. And then unfortunately, this brings down a very bad spiral of events of women feeling like it is that they need to go ahead and to do this in order to get the attention. And unfortunately, the stuff with families don't help neither. where it is like there's unfortunately both men and women, boys and girls, probably come from households it is that never really taught them the positive reinforcements it is that they needed to not um feel the need that they have to do all these things for attention. Now I'm not gonna blame them for it, to be honest with you. It's when you don't have it at home, you spend your entire adulthood trying to heal your childhood. Unfortunately, yeah, some of it is peer pressure, and a lot of it comes from within families. Families do not help when it comes down. Like families be the main people to body shame you, discourage you, all manipulate to make it seem like it is like who's better to say it is like, oh, if you don't like my rules, then you can get up out of my house. And you know damn well it is like, well, I don't got the money, I don't got the funds, I'm not financially in the state to where it is that I need to be as of right now. So sometimes it is that is used as an act, a weapon as punishment or to instill fear to where it is you don't go nowhere. All that stuff starts from home, right? So now you're seeing all of like the women it is that are getting the attention are the ones with big butts. So now you have these people it is that they're just like, well, I want to get the attention, I want to get the looks, I want to get this. So they're risking their life. I told y'all many times, BBLs is probably the most dangerous plastic procedure it is you can get. I thought a rhinoplasty was. It's BBLs. The most tedious like recovery. Your body can reject your own cells and fat, all of that.
Off as just a celebrity requirement, but now it's become more and more of a requirement for some women, to the point where they'll take out loans just to get a BBL surgery. Paying off a BBL like you pay off a car note is insane work. Unless you got a sugar daddy set up right after, you better have the money ready for it. I think most of y'all also know this, but BBLs are also a very dangerous surgery. One of the most dangerous actually, which makes it even scarier that it's become a norm. When the doctors inject that fat from one part of your body to another, if it gets injected too deeply into the butt, it can cause something called a fat embolism, which blocks blood flow to your vital organs like your heart or lungs and leads to death. So some girls out there take the risk of having a fat or potentially having all their organs get suffocated and dying a painful death. That might be worth it if you're a famous celebrity and it's gonna make you more popular, but what are you doing as a standard civilian working a 9 to 5 thinking it's gonna do for you? And of course this can be prevented a lot more if you have a more qualified and certified plastic surgeon, but a lot of times they'll fly out to a country that has a less certified plastic surgeon just so they can get the surgery cheaper and fly back. I don't think you should put your life at risk just to save a couple of thousands of dollars, unless that's how much you really think your life's worth. Then go ahead, I guess. After the process, you can't even sit down properly for the first couple of weeks because the actual incision needs to heal. So you'll see videos people post of planes full of women who take the same flight to get a BBL in a cheaper country, and they're all in awkward sitting positions so they don't damage the actual surgery.
So I got on my flight today, and everyone seated around me just had surgery. They didn't know each other. Remember, ladies, if you're getting a BBL, don't forget about the flight home.
Yep, this is absolutely a fact. Yeah, you can't sit down, or you'll sit on a donut.
How you got all that money, Tell?
It's like it's like a inflatable donut. So you can able to sit down properly, kind of. But yeah, it takes like a full 6 to 8 weeks. Really? And then you got drainage, and then you got to get like the fluid blockage out and whatnot. Yeah, clean the faja. You got to be wearing a faja like more than 12 hours within a day. Yes, it's very tedious. Yeah, you could have drainage from any surgery really, but yeah, it's normally from what I see is through BBLs and lipo. Sometimes you could get it through you could have like a drainage thing for getting like augmentation or a breast reduction as well, but it really depends. It's for it could be for any surgery really. A BBL just to cop out to exercise and make yourself look good. Well, this is the thing that I try to tell people, like regardless if you get a BBL or not, you still need to work out. If anything, it's more inclined that you should work out to maintain the BBL, because I've seen women do this. I've seen women get one BBL, it don't look good after a couple of years or whatnot, and then they get a second one. and they get a third one. Like I'm telling you, you don't want to do it. Just I know it's much easier said than done, but or if not, work on dieting or not dieting. Let me scratch out the word dieting because I know some people don't like it. Eating clean. I promise you, it'll help. It'll go a long way.
Board a flight to another country and get a surgery, but you still fly an economy? Make it make sense. If one thing goes awry with the surgery later on too, it can go from being perfectly shaped to looking like Droopy from Looney Tunes.
Yep,
you can
that
see this
too.
happen to celebrities all the time, and the photos look absolutely disgusting. Would have been better off just getting a gym membership, bro. But this year, it's seeming like this BBL culture is starting to die down, which good riddance. I don't know about y'all, but I got tired of this. Don't get me wrong, I still like but I'm more of a natural guy. But just as fast as it's getting kicked out, it's getting replaced with another extreme norm already. Ozempic. Now, we've all heard Ozempic this year. I don't gotta explain it much. It's a prescription medication given to people with diabetes to help promote better blood sugar control and help prevent heart attacks. People realize, though, any person without diabetes could take it and shed weight like no tomorrow. A bunch of celebrities this year started taking it, and some even admitted to it, like Oprah. There's a lot of celebrities who haven't admitted they're on it, though, and people are assuming who's on it based off their looks. Ice Spice probably being the biggest. Now, I speak for everyone when I say Ice Spice became big because of her amazing, wonderful talent and her amazing voice and singing ability.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Two people it is that at the top of my head that I could think of that look so damn good at to what they was beforehand. Ice Spice and Doja Cat. I will say this though, with Doja, I'll even put Megan in there too. Shit. Doja and Megan, it don't matter what their sizes are, god damn it, they look good. But you could tell based off of like the frame of like, oh yeah, Ariana Grande also shrunk within size, yeah. But I think Ariana's a little different because of the fact she was a child actress. We seen like, the documentary of like Fight on the Set of what that has done to her. And she does go through a lot of scrutiny too. So I do feel like there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't really know what she's really feeling at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But Ice Spice face, even like, you know what I mean? Even the iconic hairstyle, it just doesn't suit her. And it bothers me so much. Cause it's like, damn, Ice Spice, you looked way better before it is like, Now, she could honestly not be on Ozempic. Ozempic, I need people to understand this. Taking Ozempic and you do not have diabetes will actually do the reverse effect. It won't do any good for you if you do not if you are not medically like a diabetic person. It will do such nasty side effects to your body. To what you don't need. Trust me, As somebody it is, like, I have a parent that's diabetic. I have a godmother that was on Ozempic too. I got family members that are on either Ozempic or a certain type of medication. And my mom could tell you how much it is like those side effects of diabetic medications are no joke. They are no joke, gang. And my mom was like on a very, very, very low dosage and she had to get off of it. Taking a medication you don't need is straight poison. Exactly. What are the side effects? Oh, it's a long list of things, gang. Trust me. I don't think it is that it's worth it. So I think Ice Spice, honestly, she looked really good with like before, like what she was before. Like, and I don't want to disparage her because there could be something it is that's really going on behind the scenes. Look at what happened with Chadwick Boseman. Having cancer and stuff, that makes you drop weight fast. And everybody was getting on him, making it a big deal, saying all different type of nasty stuff to him. And then come to find out when he died, that's when it is we found out that he had cancer. He was battling with stage 4 of cancer while giving us the greatest roles of his life. That man worked till he died. So I don't ever want to disparage anybody because at the end of the day, we don't fully know to what it is that they're going through. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was stage 4, like was it prostate or colon? I think it was prostate cancer. And which is why I'm also gonna tell y'all for all my people of color, y'all men, please make sure this y'all take care of yourselves because the colon cancer and the prostate cancer is really it's getting high within the African American community. It's getting up there. Like that cancer is no joke, you know. So definitely make sure that you get the stuff checked out.
Yo, who the is this? Yeah, Ice Spice for the past 6 months has been getting accused of using Ozempic. Because going from this a year ago to this is a little drastic, right guys? No one knows why she's decided to completely shed off her image and change. I think the only reason why people are so shocked and are accusing her of using Ozempic is if you go through a natural diet and start hitting the gym. As long as you do it right, for guys, you can lose weight and keep good muscle on. And for girls, you can
that's one thing that I fucking envy about with men is that y'all could go to the gym and like not even 3 months, y'all could shed weight. It's like, what the us women don't have that luxury. Y'all could go to the gym and be like, I bet, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 10 pounds gone. The fuck, man? And our weight does fluctuate through like throughout our levels of cycles and stuff. It's man,
lose fat and still keep your butt intact. If you use Ozempic though, it sheds everything including your fat and muscle, which is kind of what it's been looking like for her. Like her ass fat got disintegrated and swallowed whole by the rest of her body. She's denied using it already and said it's because she's been working out more and hitting the gym, which could be true. We truly don't know unless if it gets leaked that she's on it or she admits herself that she's been on it. But that brings up more of the question, is Hollywood completely changing its beauty standards again? Because a lot of the girls known for their big butts that, let's be real, had part of their fame attributed to it, are starting to shed down like Ice Spice is. Megan Thee Stallion also started to shed off her weight this year. The queen of BBLs, Kim K, started to shed off her weight. It's drastic how much things have changed in the past year. I will say now, even though a lot of these celebrities are most likely on some type of weight loss enhancing drug or Ozempic, people be accusing any celeb that loses weight for being on it. Lizzo this year has been sharing her weight loss transformation, and she's been sharing videos on TikTok of her in the gym.
That's another thing too. I see a lot of people that was doing like the whole Lizzo strays and whatnot. Lizzo, I believe her. I believe Megan, and I also believe Doja. You know, I also believe Kim Kardashian too. After a while, and especially I'm sure with Kim Kardashian, I know a lot of people don't like her, but hey, listen, that woman, businesswoman, I don't care what anybody say. The devil may be working harder, but Kris Jenner be working 10 times harder than the devil. Like after a while, especially when it is you have kids, from what I seen, like when your body goes through changes and you've been pregnant before, your butt also grows just as much as your belly does. So there is such a thing of just there's too much. There could be a thing that is too much ass for your body, you know, and that. All like pregnancy by itself is a beast. Like you can gain all different types of, you know what I'm saying, weight and everything. But after a while, I'm sure Kim was just like, hey, listen, I you know, Kim got 4 kids, but 2 of them she's had naturally. The other 2 was through surrogacy. But you know, she froze her eggs. You know, they got frozen eggs from her, the sperm from Kanye, and they had a surrogate in order to have the last 2. Yes, Kanye's the dad, but it's just like to me, like I'm sure Kim was just like, all right, like this is way too much. You know, beauty standards has changed quite a bit. Before it was the big butts and whatnot, but then you're seeing how much of like a health risk it is to putting your life on the line just for a bigger butt, the maintenance for it. Sometimes it is like, all right, cool. If you're not doing the proper maintenance, then the shape changes. It could happen organically even if you didn't have a BBL as well. But I can at least say there is a downside of this, of people are just wanting to remove all the extra stuff. It's just not needed anymore. You know what I mean? And then when you get older, that's the downside of it, of like, you realize that, damn, why did I get this surgery? Why did I get this? Why did I do this? And then now you got to go back and get all that stuff removed and everything, you know? So like, a lot of times I chalk it up to people like getting them because it's like, all right, I want this. It's like, you know, a vanity type of thing. But then when you realize how much it is you got to do to keep like the maintenance going, like yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But with Lizzo, I'm happy it is that like you can tell it is that Lizzo been really working towards like shedding the weight off. So y'all can't sit there and keep trying to get on her because
From my own experience losing weight off naturally, you can tell hers is more natural because it's been a gradual weight loss and she's still going through it. Sucks we can't make
Yes.
Lizzo fat jokes anymore. That was my go-to.
Like, I know I'm big, but I'm not that big. Like, look.
Okay.
Fatality.
If we were to bet whose weight loss is more natural between Lizzo and Ice Spice, I would personally put my money on Lizzo. This video isn't even to hate on these celebs using Ozempic though. The public just wants them to be honest about it, because if you lie and say you're doing everything all natural, then it sets a bad society standard and makes people think they can shed off all that weight fast. I still would want them to recommend people not to do it unless their doctor says so, because the long-term effects aren't the best, especially if you're someone not suffering from diabetes already doing it. And the drug is meant for people on diabetes, so you don't want to take away from someone that would actually need it. It's always
And may I add this that especially with this this project 2025, where that's going to basically remove all the stuff with health insurances and all that stuff that was gonna at least give us some access to certain medications. Think about the people it is that who have diabetes or have family members that are diabetic, type 1, type 2, and whatnot. Those medications are not cheap. They are expensive as fuck. Imagine taking away health insurance, and then now we got to think about with this. Now niggas is using Ozempic to go ahead into like with weight loss and stuff. Like, yeah, way to go.
always better to naturally do it. You'll probably never be as perfect looking as the celebs on Ozempic, but long term for your life, you will reach damn near close to that if you stay on the right path. And you'll actually be able to live longer. It's no different when these female celebs go on Ozempic and lie about it on interviews than the bodybuilder celebs like The Rock who try to say they don't use steroids. Not a single person in the world believes The Rock is natty. I believe Osama bin Laden ran a peace organization before that. Another one people are talking about is Ariana Grande and her weight transformation. Ariana Grande has always been pretty skinny and no one considered her a contender of someone that would start to lose weight. In the past couple of months though, people have noticed she started to become skinnier and skinnier to the point of concern. Like when someone who's skinny becomes skinnier, then it's a sign there might be a body dysmorphia problem. Some say it's because her movie role in the movie Wicked, where she had to prepare to look best for the role. But you're telling me the directors as a requirement told her she needs to lose weight? That wouldn't even make any sense.
Listen, if y'all seen the movie The Wizard of Oz and you seen that the main actress, if you ever looked into like what it is that they told that young girl to do, like they told her to get onto all types of diet pills, told her to go ahead and smoke cigarettes and all that to curb the appetite, all of that. I mean, film directors, like they are also part to blame when it comes down to those type of roles. And it's no oh yeah, that too, taking some type of substance or narcotic in order to get that going too. They're not exempt neither, gang. And we just mentioned about with Ariana Grande, but she's been in this for a child, so I can only imagine what type of stuff it is that they probably said or asked for her to do in order to continue to keep doing these shows, these movies and stuff like that. Like, I'd say just give her grace, to be honest, because I'm skinny. Trust me, I'm skinny. And I've lost weight. I lost 15 pounds over the course of the summer by itself. When people see that, like somebody that's small and you're already like you're small and then you're losing a little bit more weight, that is a level of concern. There's like like biggest thing can be stress. It could be anything to do with like body changes. It could be something it is of like you're working or you're asked to go ahead and do. Yeah, like stress could be the number one thing. Like you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
No, I don't think it's Ozempic per se. If she went on Ozempic, I think she straight up would have dropped dead after a month. When someone a decent sized weight goes on Ozempic, they already look like they starved themselves for a month straight right after. Even her co-star in the movie's been getting accused of using Ozempic. For Ariana Grande, if it was to be something, it would probably be more of an eating disorder than Ozempic, which would be sadder. She's talked about how she struggled with her body image a lot in the past too. So people gotta be careful the way they're talking about her body and stuff, you know, because you never know what she's going through. It might be something that's actually really personal. You know, I hope she's good and all. If she does need help, I hope she gets it. The whole build-up release to the movie Wicked was very strange though. Both her and her co-star would be acting strange is the only way to put it in interviews.
This week, people are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that and feeling power in that.
I didn't know that that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's really powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it on a couple posts.
I heard people who watched the movie really enjoyed it, at least there's that. If they was doing all these weird antics, only for the film to be a hot steaming pile of both of them would never hear the end of it for their entire careers. So to wrap it all up, this could just be a point of time where Ozempic came out and everyone's rushing to do it because it's the cool new thing. Or it could be a complete culture shift, just like how the BBL came in and changed the game. It used to be like this before though. I don't know how many people remember. All you saw on billboards in the 2000s and before was just the skinniest models of all time. All I can say is the gym is the way.
That is also true. For all my people it is that have watched America's Next Top Model, with me included, a lot of times we never really seen curvy women, plus size women be considered models. Hell, they was saying Tyra Banks would never be a supermodel because she started out was you know, being very thin. Then she started getting like features, a little curvy features, and they were saying it is that she was fat. I don't even like using that word, but they was actually really saying that to her. Like, Tyra was at the point to where it is, she was like, all right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and just like eat this. And that'll be the only thing it is that I eat throughout the day. I just want this to be very clear. You know, Tyra Banks is another one that has to fight to where she is now. Exactly. Yeah. And what makes it worse is that it's not, I don't think it's her, but I do feel like a lot of the people within the fashion industry, they are harsh. They're cutthroat. They're very, very, very cutthroat. They wanted really skinny models to be on that. So a lot of times back then, especially the early 2000s, people would look at these magazines and these TV shows and whatnot and be like, damn, like I have to be a size 2. I gotta be a size 0. Like that's not healthy. That's not healthy unless it is that you just have a high metabolism and you just can't gain weight and stuff like that. Like, okay, but realistically speaking, I'm not even a fucking size 2. Shit, I'm a 6. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, shit, when I get this weight back, I'll probably maybe a nice little 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me go ahead, you know? Yeah, I'm not a 2. I could pull off a 4 in like dresses, but it'll be tight. But yeah, like I'm not as small as what people like, what I used to be. Well, I've gotten small like this past couple months, but I'm not that fucking small. You know what I mean? Like the beauty standards has changed so much, and I hate the level. I'm saying hate because I don't use that word like profound unless it is that I mean it. I hate the Western societal norms of what beauty is, because as somebody that's like me, an African American woman, and that was also skinny. I like when I tell you I got picked on for being skinny. Family members, friends of the family, people within school, kids is mean, man. Like, oh, you're a stick figure, you're skinny, you need to go eat this and this. Trust me, I am. You know, there's that. Not really being connected with my 4C hair, hating it, wishing it is that I had bone straight hair, like all the other girls and whatnot, getting teased for all this stuff. You know what I mean? The societal norms will do so much damage to many young girls and boys growing up to where it is like there's a disconnect with thyself and whatnot, and struggling with that identity from adolescence now and then going into adulthood. Trust me, it's a real big thing. So when you see people like the supermodels like being like real thin and like and whatnot, but me finding out that most of these models were either on some type of substance, you know, going through all types of alcohol and, you know, some type of like eating disorders and stuff like that. It's shocking to hear that. It really is.
And natural is always best. I started 4 years ago and I've never looked back. But let me know what y'all think of this whole situation. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
You feel me? Yeah, it's just, you know, just I would just say this for all my people it is that watch me. If you do not have that positive reinforcement at home, create that space and those boundaries for yourself, especially going into like we're about to end the year 2024, we're about to get into 2025. I'm not too big on like the New Year's resolutions because I feel like that's kind of redundant. But if you do want to make a level of change, you got to start up with like giving yourself those positive reinforcements. I know it sounds cliche, but it does work. Trust me, it does. Even I'm doing it, you know, in the beginning of my morning, because you know I'll have my moments where it is I don't feel like getting out of bed, um, you know. But please take care of yourselves. Please do not be starving yourselves. I mean that wholeheartedly. Please do not be starving yourself. Make sure it is y'all go eat, hydrate. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your bodies. Listen to y'all bodies, please. And you know we will be a-okay. But Tommy, thank you so much for the video. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. Shout outs to you at home. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.